you know, there's hundreds of thousands of people rallying in Wisconsin really fight against this bill, and there's also workers all over the country, you know, showing our support. And you know, I think a message we really want to put out there is that workers need to do this themselves. We can't trust politicians to do it for us. And similarly, at my workplace in Jimmy John's, you know, as part of the IWW, we don't have people who tell us, you know, how you have to organize this way, you have to organize that way. We get together with the workers and we figure out what we need to do.
What are the things we can do about this deficit? It's presented like there's only one thing to do with the deficit, is to pull it on the backs of public workers, right? To cut our salaries, to cut our benefits, but that's the only way to cut the deficit. But I got an idea. What about universal health care for all, taking the money away from the insurance companies, and that would actually eliminate our entire deficit in Minnesota.
You have to pay attention to the fact that it's not just the attacks on collective bargaining, the attacks on our right to unionize, but they're also talking about taking away the entire health care program for the poor in Wisconsin, what the equivalent of Minnesota Care would be. They want to eliminate it entirely. They want to sell off public utilities, and who's going to buy those? Perhaps the Koch brothers, I'm not sure. But there are huge attacks coming down, and the people of Wisconsin have said enough is enough. And it's just been incredibly inspiring. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has and it never will. And we will stand up and fight back for our rights and the rights of our sisters and brothers until we win. Thank you.
The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated.
The workers united
will never be defeated.
The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated.
Oh, I think these protests really matter because the Democrats that are in Illinois right now, they probably would have caved if they didn't know they had all this political support that's so clearly shown by these really large protests. So what we're doing really counts in keeping this fight going. And this is such a watershed moment for public sector unions as well.
Get the bosses off our back, stand up, fight back, fight back. Get the bosses off our back, stand up, fight back, fight back.
This isn't a fair battle between two evenly matched sides, right? One side has the police and the National Guard and guns, and the other side are like working people in Wisconsin. And so when the governor asks for the unions and for workers to give concessions, it's concessions to whom? And I think that's what's not really clear. I think that we need to be pushing for no concessions and a compromise isn't a compromise because they just want to take. They don't want to give us anything. There have been all these relationships between people that have been formed through the course of this struggle. People who didn't know each other, people who didn't think that they had things in common, are beginning to understand. And I went to Madison a couple weeks ago and I talked to people on the street, and people were just crazy, awesome, and excited. And people were just going, yeah, why doesn't everyone go out on strike? We should all do it together. We'll win if we're united.